Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. I call this channel the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube, and I call this chapstick. This is sugar cookie. So we're going to apply this. Brows are done, of course. For foundation and primer, we use the Fenty primer and foundation. And in the foundation, I wear shade 335, which, as you see, is my perfect match. So I was really glad when they extended their shadow range. Lower lash line and upper and lower rims, we have the Sephora, no it's not, MAC Color Excess gel pencil eyeliner, and the shade is stage 5 clinger. So that is what you see under there. And as you can tell, I'm having trouble again, like where do I look when I'm doing the video. First look, we're going to do 4 as of right now with this palette. This is, what is it, Huetopian Dream. I did the swatches in a live, and what was bizarre is that live came out clear, well, on my end, but then when I did the live swatches for Lethal Cosmetics, like that video, which the quality was just horrible. And I do really think it's something with the internet, which I can't fix. I don't work at the internet company. But anyway, this is what Huetopian Dream looks like. So I apologize if you watched that Lethal Cosmetics live swatches and if it didn't look right. I can't help whatever the internet is doing, but I do feel embarrassed, even though it's not anything that I did. But it was painful for me to watch. And so if y'all still watched it, I know I'm on a little rant right now. If y'all still watched it, I do appreciate it, because for me it was painful and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. So anyway, so thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching, my videos and lives, even when the quality isn't good. Excuse me. So this is what Huetopian Dream looks like. A couple of these over here are dual chromes. This one is the most prominent one. This one second prominent because it's bright, and then it's not. And this one up here, you can see this shift in it because this top corner, it looks pink and then it doesn't. So it looks like only this gold one isn't a dual chrome, but then I don't know, because it looks kind of orangey, but then sometimes a bright yellow gold can look orangey. So we're going to do top row for this look. Second look, we're going to use the bottom row, and then we're going to, I think the third look, we're going to do like this quad right here, these 4 right here, which will be very easy, very ethereal. Not my jam, but I know when I know what I'm getting with some of the Pat McGrath Motherships. But I love the formula, especially the non-chunky monkey celestial shades. And so we'll see if these are chunky monkeys. But so I knew what I was getting when I got it, and believe it or not, I am excited to use it. I have out what we're going to use for the rest of the face for later. Of course, we're going to edit that out. Let me get into it. We're going to prime the eye, and I'll do the introduction, and then we'll jump into the look. So Fenty eyeshadow primer as usual, which I may stop saying because it's the only eyeshadow primer I use. The Crazy Troll Nation. The crazy, just enjoying doing videos, knowing it's okay to let your authentic self shine through, not trying to emulate someone else or act in a way that you normally don't act. No, it's okay to just be yourself. And also enjoying whatever else you do on YouTube, the other channels that you watch. Excuse me for that. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. You set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand, a certain tool, or a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. The bottom line here, y'all, at the Crazy Troll Nation, is self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. That is the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation. Being yourself and loving yourself for it, regardless of what other people may say or think. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I need to let you know I do curse on my channel sometimes, because I curse sometimes, period. I try to catch myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Thank you for being here. Let's get, and those who have been here, thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you, I really do. So we're going to jump into the look. We're going to take Bronze Solaris, and it looks a little flaky. We're going to try it with this brush. This is an Esom V27. If it doesn't work, let me pull out some sponge tips right now, because those are what I use for chunky monkeys and just sometimes regular shimmers. So this is first half of the lid. So this is going to be, I think, a very light look. And this is what it's looking like on the brush. We're going to just pack it. Ooh, ooh, because for me, I say it in a lot of videos, and I say it for people who may be watching that video for the first time. For me, the Fenty primer is a tacky primer. And so you see how I just patted it on there and pressed it, and it stayed. And let me take the plastic off the mirror. Ah, so satisfying. Now I gotta put that away somewhere. And as of right now, no fallout, but that was just a few pats of the first shade. So we'll see as we keep going what this is going to look like. This is actually a get ready with me today because I have a manager's meeting to go to today. And I am going to drop off some eclectic beauty donations on my way out of Delaware because the meeting is not in Delaware. And before that, though, I'm going to check my post office box. And my local friend, who no longer lives in Delaware, she got a post office box for in between where she is now and when they buy their forever home, well, their second forever home. And so I'll be checking my box and checking her post office box. Then I'll drop off donations, and then I'll hit 95 South to go to the meeting. So this is a very light ethereal look. Part of me was getting ready to do this eye even though I didn't prime it because I miss just doing a complete look versus like editing out. But we'll get back to that one of these days. I try to keep my shirts even. I have a long sleeve black shirt on under this shirt because it's cold outside. And even though I'm going to be in the car, so I didn't want to wear like a bulky coat, and I don't like wearing coats anyway because they are just bulky. But anyway, now we're going to take Bronze Desire, this shade here, and that is going to go on the second half of the lid. This is an Esom. It is not. This is an Hourglass number 3, and ooh, that picked up like really easy, and it is some tapping off. Okay, so we're going to press that over here on this half of the lid. This is a very easy look. This could be your look. You know, if you want to do brow bone shade, or don't. Do mascara. Do liner if you want to, upper lash line. So we did put more in the brush, and we're tapping up here. This could easily be your look. Someone reminded me in a comment, I don't want to say the wrong name. I think I know who it is, but I don't want to say the wrong name. We're going to tap this over here just lightly on top of that first shade. And we're tapping because we don't want to help fallout if there's going to be fallout. But I wanted to just get some color right here, and that did work. We did not add more on here, so it's just whatever's in the brush. And they were watching one of my videos, and they had said there were like 4 times in that look where I could have just stopped and that be the look. But being the troll that I am, I kept going. And that reminded me of when I used to do looks before, and I would say, this can be your look, but we're going to keep going. And I commented back, thanking them for that reminder, and that I would try to make it a point to remember to say that. You don't need to do all the things that I do. I just do all the things. We're going to go back and forth, not adding more shadow on a brush, just to get this little bit of blend right here. So this easily could just be a 2 shadow look. Do your liner and mascara if you want to. We already have a gel pencil liner underneath. You can leave it, or you can blend that out, or not have anything under there at all, because everybody doesn't do lower lash line shades. And so yeah, this could easily be it. But no, like an infomercial. Wait, there's more. So we're going to take, this isn't going to work. I had Secret Eden, this shade here, for brow bone, but we done took up all the space except for right here. I think we're going to switch up. We're going to take Secret Eden and put that on lower lash line on top of the liner that's under there. And we're using a thick brush. Oh, this is powdery. This, I tapped it. And you see that? It's like all over the handle of this brush. And this one that you might not be able to see because it's reflective. Wow, my station's looking crazy. So we're just going to put this under here. I do see some flakes down here on my face from that first shade. It's the brush that I'm using. If I were using a shader brush and swiping, it wouldn't have the kick up in the pan. But kick up in the pan doesn't bother me because when I see it, I know to tap the brush off. And so it's not going on my face. Well, the kick up is not falling out on my face. So we're just pressing in Secret Eden. Oh, that looks nice. I look a little sick in a way. But sometimes I like that look because it's like, you know, a little grunge, looking like I have conjunctivitis. So that's where that shade is going to be. That was unexpected, like putting that under there. So I'm going to put this blending brush away. And now we're going to take Skin Show Nude Ecstasy, this shade here, which in her palettes and most of her motherships is too bright for my liking. But I have this for brow. So we're just going to just do just right here, just a brow arch, which I don't have one because of the way I did my brows. We're going to leave that. Okay. We're going to take the brush we used for this shade and we're just going to just sweep right here because that's looking like a bright spot. But you know what? It's okay because, yeah, this is looking like a bright spot. I don't want to disturb my brows. So that is that look. This eye feels like it's wanting to tear. And then we have the last shade in this row, this one here, which is Astral Venusian Orchid. And it looks like it's flaky. It is flaky. I know you can't see it against the pink. This is a Fenty number 220. This skinny one. This was an Esom V09. And this is good also for me for tear duct. So I should have used that for that. But for some reason we took this one. So we're going to put Astral Venusian Nude right here. Oh, I was hoping that was going to look right next to this shade. So this is first half of the lid, second half of the lid, lower lash line over gel liner, brow arch, and this is tear duct area. And so I was hoping, because looking at them in the pan, I was hoping this was going to look right next to this because this being gold, orange, whatever, and this having like a lavender tint to it. But because this one is a dual chrome as well, it looks nice. It blends into the gold of this shade, which is this shade. So this look is done, y'all. So we're going to, I didn't pick out a liner for upper lash line. We're going to just be simple. The first thing I touched, I want to take Bougie, but it doesn't show up much. Bougie does not get a lot of love because it's a dual chrome, and so it's hard to see. But let me just grab a brush. I didn't even have out an eyeliner brush for that. But this is the NYX Paint Pot is Bougie. This is great just as a shadow. You can use it as a shadow base or as an eyeliner. But for me, eyeliner, it doesn't show up because there's not enough of it there to see the shifts. But as a shadow base or just putting it on as a shadow, this is pretty. I have a video somewhere of when I put it on the lid. It is gorgeous. And so I'm thinking to use this, and you see I haven't even used it a lot because I tend to use these as eyeliners and it doesn't show up as an eyeliner. But I keep saying I'm going to use it as a base, and because it's dual chrome, the thought would be, what is the shadow I put on top of it going to look like? And so you see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't show up as a liner, but it is extremely pretty. So yeah, I need to make it a point to do that. After we finish doing these looks with Huetopian Dream, we will use the Ritualistic Rose quad, and that'll be it for trying and using and running through all the new Pat McGrath stuff that I had purchased. But I'm thinking to use Bougie. I can't see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it is there. But using this as a shadow base. And so I need to make it a point to do that. I need to remember to do that. Just going to pull out the first mascara that I grabbed, which was the 288 Dior. And this is the Dior Show because it's not a color. It is blue, but it doesn't show up blue on me. So we're going to put this on and we're going to do the other eye and finish the face, and then we'll come back. We are taking Bronze Venus. We just picked the gloss at random and we put that over chapstick. This is the finished look. And so what we did was we did put more foundation underneath the eye, which means I then needed to set the face. We used Fashion Fair Set It Loose. Truly Tawny is the shade that I use. And we went in with the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette, we used everything in here. Cream highlight, cream blush, highlight, highlight, blush, and this is citrus. That is right there. Then we took the Pat McGrath Desert Glow. Yes, I almost dropped it. And we use this here and here and the perimeter of our face and my wide ass nose. So that is the look. I want to do something for giggles. I want to take a sponge tip applicator and take Bronze Solaris, this shade here, just to see if it will amp it up, and I think it will, and I'm hoping it doesn't create fallout. So we're going to take the sponge tip and we are going to swirl it. It's a tad chunky. Not chunky, glittery is the word. And so this is here, and we're going to see if this amps it up using a sponge tip. Hopefully this is not creating fallout on my face because the face is done. Is that a difference? I don't know. Let's take a little bit more. It does seem to be a dry shadow. Oh, I just felt some fallout like down here on my face. It is dry picking up, which is what makes it flaky, but it's not a chunky monkey. It does look a little bit brighter than over here. Yeah, it does make a difference with the sponge tip. So, ooh, some flaked in my eye. Darn it. I almost made it through the video without... I am tapping off, and a lot is tapping off because I went in kind of aggressively to get it on the sponge tip. But yes, so you see the sponge tip does make a difference. I'm looking at this look, and it's very basic, and it's looking like something I could do with other stuff that I have, but it would be less shiny because the celestial shades are very shiny. So if you're wanting the shine, then yeah, you're going to want this, what am I saying? You are going to want the celestial shades, even if you just get a quad of like her Astral Blitz shades. And thankfully, because the Natasha Denona thing is so shiny, whatever fallout I just got, it just blends in with all the other shine. And this is the brush that we use for the Fashion Fair powder. And I'm wondering if I want to take, what is that? Hourglass Radiant Light all over, but we're going to leave it. So this is our look for the day. Look number 1, top row of Huetopian Dream. Very easy, very simple. It didn't take long to do at all. And I was done this look in a total of 20 minutes combined with this look and talking through it, because I did, you know, look up and see the time. So just doing both eyes, 20 minutes, might have been 15 if I didn't talk through this one. So very easy, very simple, minimal mess. And it's a cute look. It's a pretty look. It's a basic look. You can wear it anywhere, you know, to work. Some people have to wear certain looks to work if they want to wear makeup. You know, when I went to work, I wore whatever I wanted to wear, but that's just me. So this would be, I guess, what they would call, I'm not going to say wearable, because to me, if I can wear it, it's wearable. Easily approachable is what I'll call it. I'll call this an easily approachable look that will go with anything you wear, because it is just basic tans and golds and very easy to do. One thing I did do with the liner, I did wing it out just a little bit, just so you can kind of see it a little bit, because it's not seen on my upper lash line. So I did a small wing, and then I actually like pulled it out. So this point you see, if you do see anything over here, that is the liner. So that'll be it for look number 1. You'll see me in a few moments with look number 2. Today is November 22nd. We're going to start with Chapstick Holiday Cocoa. I had a feeling something was missing. This was in my bag from when I had went away. Because I'm like, seemed like something ain't right. But anyway, lower lash line, we have one extra Tractable eyeliner in deep purple. And I put it on lower rims. It wasn't showing up. So I said, you know what? Let me try aqua something. Gypsy blue. And so this is what's on my waterline. So I put it on upper and lower. So I was surprised that this showed up. Maybe because it's brighter. I don't know. Because some bright liners don't show up on my inner rims. Of course, Fenty Poppin'. So look at this, y'all. You hear it clicking. We have just a nub left. I don't even know if I have one use out of this to get one more brow done. Even if we just do the one side. But let's go ahead and prime the eye. And we're going to get started on look number 2 with Huetopian Dream. We do have on the Fenty primer and the Fenty foundation. I was going to finish the face, and then I thought, what if I have fallout and I want to put on more foundation? So I didn't finish the face, but we will do that and edit it out later. We're going to use the bottom row. Everything in the bottom row. I am liking how this look turned out bronzy-ish, but we're going to see what this is going to do. So we're going to take Blitz Sextreme on the first half of the lid. This shade here. In person, this is what I see. I see this greenish, yellowish, goldish, brownish, and then it turns this color. So we're using the Esom V27, a small brush. I was tempted to try it, and you know what? I'm going to try it with an Hourglass number 3 because it looks to be creamy, not flaky like these three. So we're going to see if it's picking up, and it is. Let me tap off. A little bit tapped off. So no shadow, shadow. And this is one of her celestial shades in this palette. It feels creamy like, excuse me for smacking, some of her quints, the formula that I like in the quints. And so even doing this over the Fenty primer, it is going. It is a basic shift because you see the green and the burgundy and whatever else, but it is a pretty shift, but it's basic. And for this to be Mothership number 9, I would think, why have a basic dual chrome shift shade in here? You know what I'm saying? I do like the color though, but I think I have this same type of shade in at least 3 other palettes, if not more than 3 other palettes, and not necessarily Pat McGrath palettes, because it is a basic shift. And so you see what it's doing. This is not a unique dual chrome, multi-chrome, whatever it is. And so that is there. Very easy, no mess. Do I have any fallout from that shade? I see a couple flakes. And so we're going to take the brush we were going to use, and we're going to just lift it. And it did just lift off. Where's the eyelash down there? So it is just lifting right off, and it was only just those few flakes. So I'm going to put that brush aside in case we're not going to use it for something else. And now we're going to take a clean Hourglass number 3, and we're going to go into Cosmic Bloom, which is this shade. This looks not as smooth as this one, so we're going to see, but it picks up nice though. No shadow, shadow, and we are going to tap off, and there is a little bit tapping off, and we're going to put that over here on the outer portion of the lid, and we are going to overlap, and it does just kind of blend into that. And we're going to take the top of the brush and just blend up here. We don't have, well, I don't plan on putting a brow bone shade up here, and the way it's blending, I don't think I'm going to even want to. This is diminishing some of the dual chrome aspect of the first shade, and I can see that from when I turn, but is it really that noticeable? Because once you turn, you do see the shift, and so it is just really blending in. And so we're going to just take this just a little bit higher up, and we're not going to put a brow bone shade, are we? No. I had a shade for transition, but I think we're going to end up putting that on lower lash line. So this could be your look. Just put on mascara if you want to. Do liner for upper lash line if you want to. And I don't know what we're going to use yet. I'm pulling out Dip Down, which is a brown Max Fluid line for our upper lash line shade. I had, yeah, this shade for transition, but we're not. We're going to take that shade, shoot, and we're going to put that lower lash line. And this is a bright shade. It is a lot tapping off. It is a matte shade. And we're going to use a wide brush to place it and blow it out at the same time. And we shouldn't have any issue with it because it is a matte shade. And so you see what that's doing on top of the purple, which actually looks nice. I think I got something in my eye because this eye is starting to tear. Like, I was doing so well. Oh my gosh. So this is what this is looking like. And we're going to take this brush again that we have not used because I see a flake right there and a couple down here. But they are just coming right off, which is great. So that brush we use for that, and the brush we took out for blending that we didn't use for our transition area. So actually, I'm going to put that back home. The next thing we're going to take is Extreme Plum Noir, which is this shade here. And we're going to use this for outer V. It looks a little deeper in person. Not much. Well, yeah, it does. And we're going to use a Fenty 220. I don't think I've ever used this for outer V. And if I did, it was back when I first got it. And it's nice for this, as you see, because it has a pointed tip. And so you can actually do a clear cut V. But we are going to, that's nice. And we are going to just drag it over just a little bit. Just a little bit. I do want to blend, but I kind of don't. Because I kind of like that it's a clear V. So you know what? We're actually just going to leave it. But you know what? We're not. We're going to blend in just a little bit inside the V in this eye. Like, what the hell? Everything was fine. I don't feel like anything is in my eye, but that doesn't mean it's not. So we're just blending in. We're just going along the inside of the V. And I'm hoping that hole in my head right here doesn't show through. We're going to leave this like this, and I actually like it. Why am I saying it like I'm surprised? And now we're going to take my finger and dab this, which is not what I was going to say. But we're going to now take Astral Amethyst Moon, this shade here. This is a dual chrome, so it looks to be like a hot pink, and then it looks like whatever that looks like. We're using a stubby brush. This is a smudger brush, Makeup Forever number 210, and we're going to just wiggle the brush in it, get the shadow on, tap it off. Nothing kind of tapped off, and we're going to just press this as close to the lash line as we can. This time I am going back and forth to get shadow on it, and it doesn't seem like much is even coming off. And I think I just got some in my eye. Because it's wet, this is showing up right here. So we're going to just drag it over and drag it down some. So that's our lower lash line, and I am really liking how that looks under there. I am actually bringing this down here. Initially, I started close to the lash line, but now we're coming down here because I do like the look of a dark shadow close to lash line blown out and putting a shimmer underneath it. For whatever reason that I like that, I don't know. I know it's not the norm, but am I normal? No. So it works. This is kind of making me want to put a purple on upper lash line, but because of the shift, I don't think that is going to show up. That's the look, y'all. That was like how quick. So we're going to take, we are still just going to use Dip Down, which is brown, for upper lash line, even though I kind of want to be funky, even if I do a red. But we're going to be sensible, and y'all can tell I don't want to. So this is Dip Down, and it's a brown from MAC, and this is a fluid line. These are designed to be eyeliners, but you can also use them for shadow bases. The paint pots are designed to be shadow bases. You can also use them for upper lash line, which is what I do use it for. And I keep saying I am going to get back to using the fluid lines and the paint pots for shadow bases. It's like so many things I keep saying I'm going to get back to, and it just takes forever. We're going to feather this outward just to make it look a little bit longer. And so that's that. And so we're going to put mascara over here. We're going to use the same one that we used for the last couple looks, but yesterday's look, which is 288 Dior Show. And then we're going to do the other eye, finish the face. I'm trying to think right now of a lip. I don't know. But we'll do the face and figure out a lip after we do the other eye, and then we'll be back. So here is what we did. We did the same thing with Fashion Fair Truly Tawny to set the face. We used the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush Palette. We used everything in here the same way as we used it yesterday. Then we went back with the brush we used for Fashion Fair just to, you know, make sure everything was blended in. But before we went back with the brush with the Fashion Fair, we did use Pat McGrath Desert Glow Bronzer here and the perimeter of my face. Then we did the thing, not adding any additional powder on here. I did bring out the pink on the lower lash line. What shadow was that? I believe it was Shockwave. So this one, we did take it further out under here because we did it over here by mistake. So to make it look the same, and also dip down, we took it further out. So we went back and made it further out here. This side I like because it's straight. This side I did the accidental swoosh. What else did we do? We sprayed the face with the Scandinavia, the finishing spray, and we used two different lipsticks. Both of these are Sephora collection. We took number 52 dark purple, we put that all over, and then we took number 100 mysterious plum and we put that just here in the center. So if it's looking ombre-ish or not, right here you can see it is dark on the outer corner than in the center. So that's what we did for that. So that was just an idea of me playing around. We're going to do what we did yesterday to see if we can get more opacity from this shade, which I don't think we will, but we are going to take this brush, the one we were using to clean up, and we're going to swipe this in here, and okay, a big chunk flaked off, and we're just going to put this here to see if it amps it up. And I kind of don't think it did, but because we did that side, we're going to do this side. This is a creamy shadow, and I love this formula. This is the same formula as her quince that I like. And maybe because this came out before the quince with this formula that I like, maybe this was her testing it to see if it would be liked. So what we're also going to do, I don't think that made a difference. We're going to take our sponge tip applicator just to see if we can get more saturation. And it is flaking up. I tapped off just a little bit because I just want to see, can we amp it up? Because for me, I know I probably said it in a previous clip, for me, sponge tips mimic a finger application. I didn't tap off this time. So we're just going to see like if it does amp it up without using our finger or wetting the brush. I do think it's a little more saturated, but it's hard to tell, and maybe because it is a dual chrome. So I'm not going to say that this is working to amp up the shadow. I do think it's just the color of the shadow. Let me know if you're seeing a difference, because I'm not seeing a difference. I was happy with it the way it was, but I just wanted to see if it would make a difference or not. So that is this look. I am pleased with it. And so even though, and I already told y'all, I ate my words that Huetopian Dream was a pink palette. Because this look is not a pink look. It is a pretty dual chrome. You saw how quick it was to do it. And I'm loving the lower lash line. I'm loving the purple under here, the pink under here. I am glad we did use Dip Down as a brown, which if I wanted to punk it out, I would have put the red or maybe even the orange. Because of the dual chrome shadow, I think it still would have looked right. These two just blend into each other. This shade on the first half of the lid and this shade on the second half. They really did just blend in together, which is kind of nice. But I mean, and so I am liking the look. This is not a pink look. I mean, it has some pinkish to it, but if you just look at it, this is not a pink look. It's like a greenish something other because of the dual chrome. Then you have the purple underneath. So I am seriously eating my words, but we'll see what the next two looks will look like. And just hang tight and we'll be right back with look number 3. Hey y'all, today is November 23rd. Is it? Yes, we're going to start with Vanilla Mint chapstick. I did the entire base face. We used all the same products we used yesterday, except for lower lash line and inner rims, upper and lower. We used NYX retractable eyeliner in brown. I believe it's brown. Yes. So this is what's there. Y'all, look, this is done. This is the one we just used. There's not even a nub. So that's going to go into Makeup Trash Heaven. And we were able to do both brows with this brow pencil. So this one is going to go in the Makeup Trash Heaven as well. And I did go lightly because I wanted to see if I could just get both brows done with this nub. And we got both brows done with this nub. I did have one ready on standby though. 30% off sale on the Fenty website. So I did order like 3 more because I didn't realize how fast I was going through these. And I do have, I think, 2 more. But I'm like, is that enough to last me to the next 30% off sale? And I don't think so. So we're going to prime the lids and we're going to get started. This will be look number 3. We're going to start with Cosmic Bloom, this shade here. And this is going to go all over the lid. We're using the Hourglass number 3. This is a metallic shade. Wow, really all over the lid? Okay. You know, I was going to use the mirror in here, but I had my paper on top of it. So, as of right now, y'all, I'm enjoying this palette. It is easy to use. A little mess, but not too much, because y'all know how I feel about messes. But I can say tapping off has helped a lot as far as fallout. So much so that my station has been a mess, and after every look, I'm refolding my microfiber cloth to a clean spot. But that's easy. That's an easy fix. I'd rather have it there than on my face. And so we are, as you see, just pressing this in. And even though this isn't a celestial shade, it is a metallic, and you can see where it is falling out, you know, around the pan. So it does have the potential to be messy, but pressing it directly on top of a tacky base helps. And so that is that, and that is done. We're going to take the tip of the brush, because we don't have, well, we do have a brow art shade. Usually, well, sometimes I don't do one, which you know if you've been here. So we're going to leave that like that. And now we're going to take this Scott Barnes brush, and we're going to go into Extreme Plum Noir, this shade in the corner, and that's going to go on the outer corner, of course. This one is tapping off a lot. It seems like sometimes her mattes fall out more than the metallics, because more tapped off with this outer corner shade matte versus the metallic that we put on our lid. And yeah, my cloth is looking quite messy here from this shade. But again, I'd rather tap off than have it fall out on my face. And so this is going to go here. It feels a little dry, and it may be because I'm trying to layer over top of this shadow, which is kind of grainy. It has a texture to it. So I don't think I've felt that this was dry before, this outer corner shade. So we're actually going to do this like that and just kind of leave it. But actually, we're going to sweep over a little bit. Yeah, I like that. I like this. So today, I should have told you, and I think I may have mentioned it before, we're using the, yeah, I stuck my finger in it. We're using these 4 shades right here because that's a really easy quad to do. And if you wanted to go lighter and more ethereal, use these 4 right here. So the palette is set up to do easy looks. And so this will be these 4. So we're staying in this little corner. I'm not sure what the next look is going to be. Even though I have it written out, I'm just not looking at it right now because I'm trying to get this one done. Now we're going to take Secret Eden, which is this shade, and this is another Scott Barnes brush, and this one we are tapping straight in. We're kind of pressing, because when I tap, it does puff up a lot. A lot didn't tap off with this one as this one tapped off a lot. So we are just going to just tap this right here, and it's kind of there but not there. And maybe because I'm just going lightly and just using the tip of the brush. So this is what we're doing with this one, and that's going to be it. And we're not even going to go back and forth, because even tapping it on the line of that top edge of the lid shade and the outer corner shade, like, it is blending it out. But we are going to go back and forth, like just right here around the outside of the outer corner shade. And so that is easy. It did really blend in. I do wish there was more definition, and so what we can do is let's go back to the brush that had the outer corner shade on it, and without adding more shadow on the brush, seeing what's in the brush, just dragging it over just to give some dimension or something, because all of this just runs together. And a little bit is still in the brush. I don't really want to tap in. We'll see when I do the other eye, if I do add more. But I think it just did a tiny bit something, but I'm kind of wanting a little bit more. But it's a really easy, very simple look. So now we're going to move on to Skin Show Nude Ecstasy. This one, and we have this for tear duct and our brow arch. So we're going to put this right here. Just right there, not all the way across under the brow. Not all the way. And then we're going to go in again, and we're going to put this on tear duct. I think that outer corner shade I'm going to put on lower lash line as well. I need to figure out what eyeliner we're going to put on for upper lash line. So that's there. I did have a brush out for that. Yeah, this for lower lash line. This one, the outer corner shade. And we're using this brush instead of the thick brush we've been using. I don't know why I'm using this brush instead of that other brush. I do see some fallout on my face. And it looks dark. So I'm thinking, I just see like a, yeah. Ooh. I'm thinking that was from that outer corner shade because that was kind of powdery. So we're taking some more of the outer corner shade and we're just running this under here, under our lower lash line. And so that is basically this look. So what color are we going to use? You know what we're going to do too? Whatever's in the brush. We're going to, excuse me if you couldn't see me, just want to run that right there. Just to have like a little, like something to differentiate between the colors. So I do like that better. So it's still simple, it's still easy. What color are we gonna, this eye just now started tearing. What in the world? What are we gonna use for upper lash line? Oh, red would be too much for this. Underneath the red, that'll be too much. That ain't gonna be right. We may use slate because slate sometimes doesn't show up blue. This eye is tearing. Like, why are you doing that? So we're going to put this on, and I just pulled out a random mascara. It just happened to be the purple one. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to come back with the finished look and a lip. I don't have a lip picked out yet, so we will be right back. So what we did for the lip is we used a MAC bullet lipstick that I found at the CCO a couple years ago. Actually, no. My label said that opened it December 9th, 2022. So about a year ago, I found this at the CCO. It is a dual chrome, as you can tell. I wiped off chapstick, applied this, and this is what it looks like. And this is a Frost lipstick, and the shadow is on and on. It is nowhere to be found unless you happen to see it at the CCO or CCS. What we did for... yeah, that was it. And so I already showed you ahead of time everything else that we were going to put on. And so this is our finished look number 3 using this quad right here. These 4 shades. Very simple, very easy. I want more. It is a pretty look though. It is a pretty look. So if you have Huetopian Dream and you're not sure what to do, or if you're like me and you just got it and you don't know what to do, you saw how we did the top row and then we did the bottom row, and now we use these 4 shades. And so those were so far 3 very easy looks. Hang tight, we will come back with look number 4. Hey y'all, today is November 24th. This is Tillamook mint chocolate chip ice cream. We're gonna put this on. No foundation. I can hear my neighbors through the wall. They sound Hispanic because that is not English what she's speaking. It is a huge Indian population here, but she sounds Hispanic. Anyway, same brow pencil, inner rims, NYX retractable eyeliner, deep blue. For my lower lash line, NYX retractable eyeliner in gold. We didn't do the face because we're working with 3 of the celestial shades today. We're going to be working with the, wait a minute, these 3 right here. And so of course I'm thinking like, can I throw that somewhere? But we're working with these 3. We're going to layer 2 of them, I think, over Cosmic Bloom. And so we're going to prime the eye and we'll come back and start with Cosmic Bloom. And so whatever the other eye is looking like, we will deal with that later. Fenty eyeshadow primer, of course. My only concern with doing foundation later is sometimes I go over my brows and over this portion of my lid, which would disturb the shadow. But we're going to do the best we can. Cosmic Bloom, Hourglass number 3 blush. I don't know what I was going to say. I think I was going to say blush. This is going on the entire lid. I don't know why. Because it would make sense to top Celestial shades over a matte shade. But we're still just trying shades. By the end of this video, we'll have used every shade twice, but we have only used this shade and Shockwave once. These two only once, but everything else twice. And my goal when I first get a new palette is to use every shade at least twice so that I can have a feel for the entire palette versus just doing, you know, one look, 4 shades and being like, oh, this is great, you must go out and get it. And I'll never say you must go out and get anything, because I believe makeup is a privilege and a luxury to have. I don't think it's a need. If there's a need for something to change in your life or something that you're trying to fill, a void you're trying to fill, that's where therapy comes in. And I know makeup can be therapeutic. It helps you in that moment, whereas therapy helps you lifetime. It's not just in that moment. So in that sense, makeup is not therapy, but it is therapeutic. And it's controversial because I hear a lot of people saying it is therapy. And it's because of my clinical background. I'm like, that's not therapy if it just helps you in that moment. Therapy is to help you long term. Anyway, let me slip off my clinical hat and keep moving with this look. This is a pretty shade. Is it my shade? No, but I knew what I was getting when I got this palette. We're going in with sponge tips for the Celestial shades. Pardon me. This one, I can use this with a brush because it's creamy. And when I thought about the Celestial shades, not the Celestial shades, some of her quints that has this formula, I'm like, that's where it started with her experimenting with that shade. And this is Huetopian Dream Mothership number 9. So I realized this is where it may have started, her trying this formula versus the baked formula for her Celestial shades. And I quite like that formula. So we're going to take Astral Venusian Orchid and we're going to top, I just have for center lid. So we're going to see. So we're using a sponge tip and we're going to see how this layers. I am tapping off and some is tapping off. Some of the flakes are tapping off and I think I need to get that on my lid. I don't like how this looks. I don't like the color of this over that pink. And I have flakes in my lashes. Do not fall in my eyes, please. I don't like the color that turned into, but it does layer well. And so I'm already thinking like, this is not going to be my kind of look, but it will be somebody's look. And so if this is your color story, and the sponge tip, it did go on, and I do have quite a bit of fallout here. I'm going to use the Fenty. Oh, Lord. It's not the worst fallout I've seen, but it is there. And that tells me with a brush, it would be more fallout. We are using the Fenty primer and foundation today, and the Fenty primer does cover. I do not like that shade, and I know some of you are like, it's really pretty, and because of my complexion being tan, like it does just blend into my skin tone. Put on a brown liner, you know, the look is done. It can just be done. And so I do think it's pretty. If you've been here, you know I like dark, smoky, vampy, messy grunge. And so I say that often in videos for people who are watching maybe for the first time. They're like, what does she mean? That's really cute. It is cute. It's just not my preferred aesthetic, but I do like it. And I probably need to just stop doing that whole disclaimer thing, like just saying all of that. But I do want those of you who are watching to know where I'm coming from, even if there's a disagreement, excuse me. Now we're going to take Bronze Solar, this shade, and I have this for Tear Duct, which is weird because it's a dual chrome. So we're going to use this side. This was the side we used for topping the center of the lid. And we're going to flip over here. I don't know why I put this for Tear Duct because this is a dual chrome. And so, I don't know, was I thinking do a halo look? Like, should I also put this on the outer lid? I am not liking this. We're flipping back over to that side. And we're going to overlap where we just put that tear duct shade. I don't know what this is. We're going to take this. Part of me is saying take this and put on the outer corner, but for now, we're going to take more of this and put this on the outer corner, still using the tear duct. I just need something a little bit darker for this look. This shade, I love the formula of this shade. And so I am glad it's in here. It is easy to work with. I could have used just a dense brush with it. I want to say I like it a little better, but we're not done yet. And I may like the look by the time we get done and do the liner and all the other stuff. I do like it better just because it adds some dimension to the look. So we're going to take a little bit more and we're going to go ahead and bring this over. Like instead of how we covered it up, now we're going to make it more prominent so that center shade is just in the center. And so this is looking better, but I didn't want it to look like the last look. You know what I mean? Because I don't like to do things that look the same. Now we're going to take Blitz Extreme. Damn. This was supposed to be our tear duct shade. And this was supposed to be lower lash line. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to flip the sponge tip over and we're going to take Bronze Solaris, which was supposed to have been tear duct. And we're going to put that in the first half of the lid. Y'all, I don't know. I'm not tapping off. Get the chunk on and smear it. So we're just smearing this here. I write stuff down and still do it half-ass backwards. So that is sparkly, but it did just blend in. I'm going to take more, and maybe because the shade we put over it was darker, this outer shade. So we are just smearing it. I can see it in the mirror down here where the gold is showing up, but when I look up, it does just blend in. I can see a little bit of how this is pinkish, like just right here from this shade. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm going to put this whole sponge tip away because we used, 3 sides, and I'm going to just take out a fresh one for when we do the other eye, and I'll have to remember my mistake where I put what where for when I do the other eye. And now this, but since we used this already, we're going to put this on lower lash line, so that way we have used like all 4. So the only one we've only used once was this shade, and at the end of this look we'll have used everything else twice. So we're going to go into this and we're going to put this on our lower lash line. And there's a lot of fallout, and you know what, being tan, like looking up here, I don't see it. I see a little bit of glimmer, but down here, because it's darker down here, this whole, like from here all the way down to here, I have fallout on my face. So we're going to just press this in. Thankfully, as of right now, it doesn't feel like anything in my eye, which is good. And hopefully I didn't speak too soon. So we're just pressing. No. We're going to like it by the time we're done. That I can say, even if it just grows on me. It's just very light, very shiny. And even for Thanksgiving, we did an all shimmer look. So it's not unheard of for me to do all shimmer looks, but I just needed something else. We're going to take Secret Eden, and I'll need to remember this as well. We're going to tap this, and we're going to tap it up here. Oh, I can feel my heat just kicked on, and it's only on 73, so when it first kicks on, it's actually very cool. So I just caught a cool breeze. So that did take up some of that space up there. And what we're also going to do, this eye is starting to tear. See that coming down into my wrinkles? We're going to take this brush and we're going to go into Extreme Plum Noir. So we'll have used every shade twice, except this one. And some shades 3 times, because now we're just like packing stuff on to zhuzh up the look. And hopefully, oh, that's nice. I'll remember what I did. So we're just bringing this here because I just want some definition. I don't want it to look like the last look where we took this all over the lid. But yeah, so we're going to see. Today is the day that the video aired that I talked about what I learned from the makeup I took with me when I went away for 5 days. And so that is fresh in my mind because I did just finish watching it like maybe 15 minutes ago, and I want to remember those lessons. And so I'm thinking, you know, do I need to declutter more stuff? Because I do have enough, and I did just purchase more palettes too. So I'm just like, girl, you see how this is traveling over? We're going to leave it till we're done because we haven't done our face yet. So we're going to prime this eye. I want to use a non-traditional eyeliner color just because, but it makes sense to use a brown. But I just want more color. So I think I used slate already. Have I used slate, which is blue? Let's just do brown. I'm being too indecisive. We're going to take MAC's Fluid Line. It is in brown, and we're going to put that upper lash line. I do want something with more color because this is just, you know what I should do? Shit. I'm saying that because I'm thinking of more and more stuff to do. We're going to take this and put this on the inner corner as well. Which way of the brush I need to hold it? This way. And we're just going to put just a little bit right here. I just need some, not need, but okay. We're going to just leave that like that. The tip of this is wet now because this right here is wet. Damn. So we're going to, all right, we're going to go with the liner. When I'm doing I don't know what to say. I don't want to speak too soon because I do think by the time the look is done that I will like it. But part of that is part frustration because I'm thinking, okay, I don't like it right now. What can I do to make it so I like it? And I hesitate because I don't want to be too hard on myself. I don't want you all to think, oh my gosh, she's having another fit again. Because it is all about preference, right? Like what we like and what we don't like, and knowing that some of you or somebody somewhere likes light ethereal, mostly shimmer looks, like it's somebody's vibe. And so like I don't want to yuck somebody's yum, as they say. You know, I don't want to shit on somebody else's parade, as someone else may say. And so that's why sometimes I'm like, because it's not just about me. It's about me showing you variety and what the palette can do. And so it's not horrible at all. And so if you do like a mostly shimmer look, this may be it for you. And we've used the celestial shades. And so we're going to clean that up later. That's annoying me. And so I just try to be careful of what I say, because it's not just about me liking the look. Because there's looks I don't like. You guys are like, that is so nice. And I'm like, thank you. And so my channel is not just about me. It's about me showing you variety, me trying to help you or trying to encourage you, trying to inspire you. And also with palettes, if you're considering getting it, you can see what it can do, which has no bearing on whether I like it or not, but just showing you what it can do. Or even if you just like the color story, like giving you ideas on what you can use in your collection that's similar to what I'm using in a video. And so it's a lot of factors that go into the looks that I do, because I can do smoky, messy, grunge, vampy any day of the week. But I do other stuff because I do want you to see that there is variety in makeup. And I did go over my brow. I did open up a new brow pencil. So this is a brand new one that I used today. And this is my concern with doing my foundation afterwards, is if I come over my brow. But if I do, I'll just apply more like I just did. So it is really not that big of a deal. So I'm going to edit out doing this eye, doing the face, cleaning up. We're going to use the Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush thing again. We're going to use Pat McGrath's Desert Glow bronzer again. Everything we've been using, the Fashion Fair powder to set the face. So we're using all the same stuff just to keep things simple. I'm pulling out mascara right now, whatever the first one is I touch, which happens to be purple from MAC Stack. We're going to do that, and we're going to figure a lip. When we come back, everything will be done. This is our finished look. I did not put on concealer. We did do the Fenty primer and foundation, and it looked okay, and then it started leaking again. And so after we powdered down the face, we did the Natasha Denona thing, we did the Desert Glow bronzer, We then went in with the Hourglass Radiant Light, and we only put this under the eyes because sometimes it does camouflage a little bit because it is radiant. There was still some fallout, but because the Diamond and Blush Natasha Denona palette, those diamond powders are so shiny, it does just kind of blend in. And so that was a good thing, because even after putting on a foundation, I still had glitter bukkake. Like it did not work. And for me, just using a makeup remover wipe and wiping it off, it cleans it up, but then my skin feels irritated. So I still need to wash my face after I use a wipe. And so that's why you'll never see me just clean up and just, you know, put makeup on top of it, because I still need to wash that off. And so that's why I don't do that. We use for our lip Martine Cosmetics Eleanor, because we haven't used it in a long time. And it's been so long that I'm thinking, like, do I even want to keep it? Because I have the dark green from Sephora, and it is a different green, but I'll swatch them out and see. Okay, this look, the overall look, I do like it. Do I prefer it? No, but I like it. It does remind me of the look that we did for Thanksgiving, which was an all shimmer look for Thanksgiving. This one, there is a little bit of matte that did happen to layer over the shimmer for the outer corner and just a tad bit inside. But because these Celestial shades, the sparkle is so strong, even putting a little bit of matte here and here, you don't see it. I see the color a little bit. It did deepen it a little bit, but even here, you still see that sparkle shine through the outer corner where that matte shade is. And so I do like the look. I am glad I messed up the look and we just kept adding more and more stuff on. And even after finishing the face, for me, it does help me appreciate the eyeshadow look. So that may have been part of it too, where it's like, I'm not really feeling a look, but then it's like my face wasn't even, my skin tone wasn't even. And so that plays a factor into it for me as well. And so yes, I do like the look. I don't think I would do it again with this palette because it's so messy. These three were messy. And as I said, even after putting the primer and foundation on, I could still see the glitter bukkake. Not as badly, but it was still there. And for this type of look, because it is similar to what we did for Thanksgiving with the shimmers from Mothman layered over mattes from Hudson Valley, I can do a look similar to this without the mess of these three. You see what I'm saying? And so that's something I think about is, can I do this with something else? So I'm still going to keep using this palette because right now I have to look through the looks I did. Because this look, knowing I can do this with other stuff, I'm like, why have this? But I am going to look at the other looks I've done, see how unique they were to other stuff in my collection and if I can dupe them or not. And so as of right now, this is a keeper. I really do like this shade, but I am not a person who will keep a palette just for one shade. But everything worked really well. And when I used these before, there was not a lot of fallout. And I think because I was putting it directly on top of the primer versus layering, and even with the amount of fallout that I had, I know it would have been more if I just would have used a dry brush instead of a sponge tip applicator. And you see, it shows up. Pat McGrath shades, her Celestial shades, they will show up. They will fall out depending on how you apply it and the tool you use, but they will show up. And the shifts are nice. The sparkle is strong. And even layering this over top of whatever it was that I messed up and did, it still showed up. Like, it's going to show up. Her Celestial shades will show the hell up and show off. And so I'm kind of thinking to put this as a brow bone, but we're not. We're going to be done with this video. It is fairly long. Troll, all your videos are long. I know. So we're going to go. Let me know what you think about each of the looks individually. Looks number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And I did each one on its own on purpose so that you can just see the look for what it is. My bag is like, hey, let me not do that. Okay, let me do this way, because this one isn't as prominent. This is my double bag side. I'm gonna go. I'm just babbling. But let me know what you think of the look. A brown lip would have been sensible, but I just wanted more color. And because of the different shifts, I'm like, the green will go. And it's making me wish I would have did a green for upper lash line too. And I did the double wing thing. I brung out the lower lash line shadow we used under here. It shows up, but then it kind of doesn't. This side, it shows up more the purple under here, that's a celestial shade, than it does here. And I did apply more. But anyway, let me know what you think of Huetopian Dream. I know it's not a new palette. It's new for me. And that's why we did this video, because y'all know when I get a palette, I knock out looks with it to get a good feel for the overall palette. And my overall opinion of this palette is, it is a nice palette. And you see from the looks I did, I think number 3 was a pink look. The rest of them ain't pink. This ain't pink. And so I have already eaten and swallowed and digested all the times I said I didn't want the pinky mauve palettes. I never got them. But now that I have them, and I'm looking at them in person and using them, they're not pink palettes. If you do the same thing, transition, crease, then yeah, for the most part, your looks are going to be pink. If you do different things like I did and do different shadow placements, then your looks are not going to all be similar. So it's about how you do your makeup and how you're comfortable doing your makeup and what style works best for you. But if you find that all of your looks are looking similar, if you're cool with that, fine. But if you're wanting things to be different, you have to do something different. And that's what I hope to encourage you to do. Whatever your style is, just to switch up, you know, where you place your colors and just experiment. And that's one of the purposes of this channel. So overall, I like the palette. I like how the shadows perform. These are not the chunkiest monkeys of them all. And just even with the dry brush over primer worked fine. But trying to layer them is where they got more flaky. Everything else, of course, these all function really well. This looked bright, and I remember when I did the swatches, I'm like, this ain't gonna go with this palette, this bright ass shade. But it actually turned out really well. Even if just layering something on top of it, or just putting it for outer corner if I'm just using, you know, these shades here or something. But I do like the palette. It's not going to rank near the top because it's not my vibe. It's not dark and smoky like the first 3 Motherships. It's not messy grunge like Midnight Sun, but it is a nice palette. It functions well. And the same with Sunless Seduction, how I say, I can just pick it up and do a nice look really quick. That's how this palette is too. So if you're looking for simple, if you're looking for quick, if you're looking for easy, you don't mind cleaning up a little bit of mess, then yeah, it's a good palette. The Mothership formula to me is among the best formulas that I've tried. And that's why I have so many of them now, because of the formula and knowing that it's going to work for me and I don't have any irritation from it with my sensitive skin and sensitive lids. So thank you for being here. Let me know if all of that made sense. And again, let me know what you think of each look individual. We've done 4. We've used every shade numerous times, especially today, layering and adding on more stuff. So yeah, that'll be it. So as always, self-acceptance and self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.